Let's talk about seller concessions and whether you should advertise them up front when you're listing your home. This comes from new Denver Metro data, and the results surprised a lot of sellers. In 2025, over 62% of homes that closed paid some form of seller concessions, with the average concession topping $11,000. So concessions are common, very common. But here's the key question: should you advertise those concessions in your listing or negotiate them later? The data is clear. Advertising concessions actually hurts price performance. Across more than 13,000 closed listings that closed in December of 2025, homes that did not mention concessions in the listing sold for more, even after concessions were paid at closing. On average, listings that stayed silent on concessions netted about $8,000 more than listings that advertised them up front. Why? Because advertising concessions sends a signal to buyers that there's room to push before they even walk through the door. Now, here's what's really interesting. Most sellers who pay concessions and never advertise them. And even when you compare only homes that did pay concessions, the ones that kept quiet still outperformed better. Another big takeaway is when seller advertised a specific dollar amount, say $5,000, they almost always paid more later in negotiations. In fact, actual concessions ended up 75% higher than what was advertised. So what's the strategy? Concessions are a tool, but leverage matters. If something has to be disclosed, like a known repair, be very specific and targeted, but broad language like seller willing to help or buyer credit available, that perform the worst. Bottom line, offering concessions is normal. Advertising them up front usually isn't strategic. If you're thinking about selling and want to know how to structure pricing, concessions, and negotiate the smart way, that's exactly where experience and data matter, and I'm happy to walk you through what works in today's market.